Hi. So, Madventure like this, and almost an expedition, I dare to say, riding a mountain bike with guests from Lake Geneva to the Mediterranean. It's a big mission. I had a doubt about taking the booking, following up. At the end, I did it because it's such a great opportunity, and I'm really happy that I did it. Um, but to prepare a big adventure like this, I've got a tool which helped me a lot on actually planning and crafting many mountain adventures. The off-piste free ride tour skiers under us know it. It's the 3x3 Werner Munter risk assessment. A lot of my guests know this word and this name as well, as I often talk about it on my adventures. And the thing is, the risk assessment. So, mountain bike trip like this, there's a lot that can go wrong or can go not according plan. So in the winter, you have to deal with mainly avalanche danger, which is really the big thing in the winter, of course. In the summer, we don't have that, luckily not. But we've got other stuff to take in account. So what I did, I made a four by five Madventure risk assessment. And I think it's very useful to plan your big mountain bike trips, other mountain adventures as well, and definitely the 3x3 grid for the winter adventures. And what you do is you think about possibilities that can go differently than planned. Plan ends when the adventure starts, where the plan ends. So always be aware, conscious, and ready for plans that can change. I think there's nothing more dangerous than sticking to a plan. So always make sure you got a plan B, a plan C, and know your escape ways and so forth. So let me show you what I made. I've put it here on my bike. It's the only thing to put it down. So the 4x5 Madventure risk assessment. So here, vertical, we've got the moments, so the timeline. So in advance, so the preparation, the evening before, in the morning, at the start of the day, and during the day, okay? So 4 moments. In the winter ski touring is in advance, in the morning at the start, so at the parking, for example, and during the day. But I made it 4, in this case, mountain bike trip. Then, horizontally, terrain, conditions, the same as the winter. The people, same as the winter. But I also made a column bikes, because I don't want to make this part of people, because bikes are fragile. Bikes can break. There's so many things that can go wrong during a 3 weeks adventure on bikes that I made it another column. And then the people or the group. I'd like to split it as a professional, mountain professional, in my clients and me as a guide. If you're a group of friends, you can say the group. But as a professional, it's a very good thing to keep an eye on yourself, and also making your clients aware that they can ask you guide, how you feel. So I often ask my people, what is your wellness number? So give me your wellness number from 1 to 10. If it's 1, we would rather go home, or we shouldn't have left, really. If it's 10, it's great, it happens. If it's above 7, it's fine. If it's below 7, I like to know a bit more about it. And after we do check-ins, and I ask everyone, what's your wellness number during the day? At the start, during the day, at the end of the day. And I give my number as well, and I try to be vulnerable and honest about it. In advance, so let's say all the month and weeks before, I could check my terrain between Lake Geneva and the sea, with maps, with internet, all kinds of stuff I could use to spot the terrain and try to imagine what kind of terrain we would ride, and also what kind of trails, how technical. I try to ride maximum T3 and an occasional T4 trail. And T4 means people with a level as us, and we've got a good level in this group. On T4, we definitely have to step off the bike sometimes. T3, it's all rideable for us, but it's pretty technical. So terrain, the mountains, which kind of trails do we ride? Conditions, well, in the winter, that's very obvious. It's the snow quality, snow depth, and the avalanche risk. And the weather. In this case, it's mostly the weather. And what does the weather do to us physically, but also terrain-wise? So very important to check the weather, but I can't do much with that on forehand, in advance. Bikes, I can ask my clients what kind of bikes we ride, and I really ask them to make sure that they are in a good state. And of course, in advance, I should know a bit more about my clients. What's their level? Do they have experience with multiple day mountain bike trips? How flexible, how adventurous are they? What is their physical state? Do they have any issues? Now, all kinds of stuff. And for me, the same. I try to fill it in myself as well. So that's all done. That's all in advance. And then during the trip, I made a little horizontal thing for the evening before. So the evening before, we talk about what kind of terrain do we ride tomorrow? What will the conditions be? Are our bikes fine, in good condition? And how do we feel? Are we ready for the next day tomorrow? Is there any ways to make it bigger or smaller? Or do we have to adapt because of the weather? And so far. So that's the evening before. Briefly, shortly, we go through that. Sometimes we can use a map, but I didn't see many maps in the places we stayed. And then in the morning, so we wake up, we checked our weather forecast the evening before. We wake up and first thing, we scan ourselves. How do we feel? How did we sleep? Maybe your watch can tell you how you slept. Quite interesting as well. And how's the weather looking? So you open your curtains and you see the sky, and hopefully it confirms what you hoped for or wished for. Maybe not. Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's overcast. Maybe it's raining, and that might have influence on us and on the terrain. And maybe we have to adapt. And that's the whole point about this grid. Every time you fill something in, you have to make a decision: go or no go, or adapting or not adapting, sticking to the plan, or aiming for plan B or whatsoever. Okay. So in the morning, terrain, conditions, bikes. We already knew the bikes are good conditions because yesterday we made sure that the bikes are right. But maybe we know there's something wrong with any bike. Like me last week, I broke my derailleur and I had to finish the day with it. Then in the morning, how do we feel? Maybe someone has a headache. Maybe someone slept really badly. Or maybe someone slipped on the hotel floor, or bounced his head on the low door in the refuse. Those kind of things. Me as well. Maybe I slept badly. Maybe I've got a roommate who snores, for example. Could be. So yes, I definitely had a few bad nights. And you check your reserves on your watch, and it says 40%. 40%, and doing a big day with 1,500 meters of climbing, it's not great. So those kind of things, and that's good to share, good to share with your group. How do I feel? Am I ready for this day? Or do we need to adapt? And then during the day, like now, I'm waiting for my clients. I just saw a message popping up saying, hey Arno, we take a break for a bite. I'm always stick a bit to my pace on this kind of hiker bike. So I'm a bit ahead and I wait for them on certain junctions. And I make a little video and make the most of the time. And I will see them popping up. So during the day, we had a few options today. We have the long option with this, including this huge hiker bike. It's like 700 meters up, pushing the bike. Well, maybe 600 pushing up. That's a big hiker bike for this trip. We didn't do many of them. The climb to get here, what we've done this morning, wasn't that much. So we only climbed like 350 so far. We felt good, everyone was good. We had all like wellness numbers 8+. Weather is still great, blue sky, no problems with the bikes. We've got enough water and so far. So yes, we can stick to the plan, and the plan is the hiker bike, which brings us to another start of a single track at 1,750 meters. And we can make the day a bit longer. But yeah, could have been that we had to change the plan, skip this part, skip the hike bike because someone doesn't feel it, or because the weather changed, or maybe some issues with the bike, maybe we've got 2 broken spokes, all those kind of things that makes you change the plan. And you have to be ready to change the plan, because again, sticking to the plan can lead to trouble. So voila. Well, I think this is quite clear. Honestly, it's a really good tool to use. I think the bigger your mountain adventure is, especially in the winter, but also other mountain adventures, the more important is to fill in these kind of things. So in advance, what can I know about the terrain, conditions, and my people? In the morning at the start, can we still stick to the plan based on terrain, conditions, and the people? During the day, like now, can I still stick to the plan, terrain, conditions, people, to stay safe? And that's the whole point of it. With this, you're not surprised by things that pop up. Well, let me give you an example. It's a pretty wild trail. It's not a marked trail. It's not pink on the map, so it's not maintained. And you see here, huge landslide. Problem? No, we will find a way around. There's most of the time a way around, but there's so many surprises in the mountains, and like daily life. And I think these kind of tools really help you to filter the risks, be prepared for surprises, and be willing to adapt your plan. And yeah, scanning in with your people and yourself. Again, if you are the guide, the bigger the trip is, yeah, the bigger the challenge for you as a guide it is as well. For me, it was a big challenge to undertake this trip. It's going really well, I have to say, and that has something to do with, again, the people who are adventurous and good riders, strong people. The conditions have been really stable. We had mainly good weather. It hasn't been hot, it hasn't been cold. We had a bit of snowfall at 2.5, but now today again it's like 18 degrees. It's perfect. Makes life much easier and safer. The terrain, well, these kind of surprises is part of it. The terrain, well, we love mountain biking. We love some rough stuff. So that's all good. And I have to say, thanks to this prep, it's going really well. Thanks to the approach of my lovely clients, Mark, Alice and David, is going really well. And yeah, thanks to the conditions. The bikes are a good working order. So yeah, this trip has been, yeah, phenomenal. But it can be different, let's be honest. You can have a completely different situation. But that's something to do with the conditions. Always check your weather forecast, because those landslides are caused by a lot of rain. There's some big storms here. And you see them developing on the map, on the radar, and you really don't want to be here if it's that bad weather. So you change your plan, easy as that. So voila, I hope this makes sense. If you got any questions about it, let me know. If you start using it, let me know as well. And if you want to learn more about it, join one of my trips. And because it's not only useful in mountain life, but also in daily life and entrepreneur life. Think about that. But if you want to learn more about it, join one of my trips and I tell you all about it. Alrighty, thanks guys, ciao.